So the iPhone 16 is coming out very shortly. You guys may have seen my previous video where I got a glimpse at what the 16 Pro, Pro Max was gonna look like because I received some early replica models from China. This time they sent a bunch more, and in this case we're gonna get a look at all the different color options, or at least some sort of weird close match to the color options that are going to be available for the 16, 16 Plus, 16 Pro, and 16 Pro Max. They sent absolutely everything here. So let's go ahead and jump inside, and you guys can let me know in the comment section which one of these colors is most intriguing to you, and if you even think that these colors are going to be a match for what Apple actually puts out. So the first one here is a kind of blue. And this is not too different from blues we've seen in the past. Of course, the biggest change design-wise for the iPhone 16 is the new camera layout on the 16 and 16 Plus. No longer diagonal, but instead this pill shape. We've got a sticker over top of the Apple logo. There we go, exposed. So I don't know exactly what they're gonna call this blue. It has a matte finish around the aluminum frame, and then you have a matte finish for the back. No more switch. We have a button now above the volume rocker, SIM tray, Type-C across the board, a large power switch, and then another area that many are predicting to be a capture button, presumably like a shortcut button for added functionality. So this is the blue model. So today's episode has been sponsored by Opera and their new AI-based features inside of their browser. This stuff is pretty cool. If you look over here, you got this sidebar, and it basically takes your web apps and puts them in a central location so you can launch them without disturbing what you're doing in the main window of your browser. We have Aria, which is their AI tool. This works like other AI tools in order to give you results for any kind of query, like how to properly cook a steak. And you can see this is populated extremely quickly. You've also got options to pin your favorite messenger app, a social media app. As you can see, I've got X over here, and it formats these apps nicely to work in conjunction with what you're doing on the browser. You've also got your music, because typically you want to have a player open, and it can just hide inside this sidebar. Telegram is there, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger. The other thing you can do is set up different workspaces. So if you want to quickly switch between work, where you may have a different set of tabs that you frequently use, and then go back to personal, where you have a completely different set of tabs that you typically use. Now you got a bunch of other options for keeping everything clean and tidy, and also to your taste. You can see we have different settings for the look of the browser, and we've also got built-in ad blocking as well as a built-in VPN. Now the whole thing feels extremely quick and lightweight, which of course Opera is famous for. So if you want to go ahead and give this browser a try, go ahead and click down in the description. Next up, we have black for the regular 16. Now the other thing to note when compared to the previous generation, which I do have a model here, the form factor is essentially identical. Well, this is a good moment to ask you guys, just out of these two, which design do you prefer? Do you think Apple did a good thing here by changing the camera layout from this diagonal to the pill? I will just say that this is a little bit less distinctive, the new style. This looks like a lot of other smartphones, more so than the diagonal setup did. Whether that's a good or a bad thing depends on your taste. So the black is actually very black, a very dark black frame and back panel, and in this case, they're almost the exact same color. There's not nearly as much color variance as there is on the blue model. And as far as materials are concerned, the assumption here is that we're gonna be looking at an aluminum frame for the 16 Plus. Here is your pink-ish. This one, once again, shows some degree of variance between the frame color and the back plate. And I'm just including the old model there. Still have two more, so this will probably be white. This will be a good comparison here. Very similar. Interesting, just plain white and silver. I thought it was gonna be a comparable, but this is actually a light blue on the previous generation that looks somewhat close. It's because this white model has like a bluish tone to it, almost like a blue color balance or color temperature. It's hard to explain, but the fact that the frame is just plain silver would imply to me that this will just be a white model, whether that's the exact tone or not. Here's the last one. What is this, green? Oh, a green one. Interesting. Well, this would be new if they did this. I don't know the last time we had a green iPhone, definitely not this color. That is, I don't know if that will cause a divide or if this is something people have been waiting for. I kind of feel like I want to even get Mo's opinion on this. Let's get your take, Mo. It's
this is like...
kind of nice, no? Turquoise, not quite.
It's like a turquoise candy. Isn't it a bit of a
thinking about candy right now?
Yeah.
I don't know which candy you eat. That's that color. Like
that's
I don't have
so
that.
blue, by the way. I'm surprised we're talking about this. This one is crazy. So out there blue. But yeah, I don't mind this. That's my take.
Wait a sec. So out of this bunch so far, you actually are picking this one.
If I'm picking, am I picking out of this?
Yeah, well, this is, I mean, we're gonna have more colors here, but this is just the standard color options for
this
the
is
16, 16 plus, not Pro models.
If you want the cheapest,
I think they're gonna
iPhone.
be the most distinctive colors, right? Yeah, these are gonna be the most, these two will be the most distinctive. This is last generation. Yeah.
Oh man, when I compare them like this, I'm landing here and here between these two. You can throw a later case on it anyway, so this would have nice accents.
Throwing in a shout out there. Yeah, well, listen, these three feel familiar to me, whereas obviously these are a little bit more distinctive. This the most so. I don't remember any other iPhone having this exact color previously, or something close to it. Yeah, teal, turquoise, I don't know. It's like the hockey team, the San Jose Sharks. I like it. So this will actually be my pick out of this bunch here. He's right, I will put a later case on it, but maybe actually if you put like a, let's see if it's still a cool accent color around the sides. Yeah. All right. Anyway, yeah, that's actually a good time to mention since Mo brought it up. We've got later cases for all of the new devices as soon as they launch. Whichever color you choose to get, you can always customize the appearance of it with a later case. These things are extremely thin and light, easy to install, and they keep your phone feeling the way the manufacturer intended. The shape is not altered, or it's altered as little as possible using these high-tech materials. Anyway, these should be live on the site when you're watching this video. All right, let's move along now. It looks like the 16 Plus models are all the same colors. I kind of just want to open up this green again to see what it looks like on an even bigger phone. Yeah, this is quite a departure for Apple. There's a couple colors that really don't show up that often. Purple, they had product red for a while. They had that really dark blue on the Pro models. I think they called it Midnight or something. Oh, sorry, that's the one I was thinking. I liked the forest green as well. It's that really dark green, which I also appreciated. But this right here, this is a bit funky. That's a personality right there. I didn't ask you, Will, which color for these models would you take?
I'll probably just go with the black.
To buy. Yeah, it's easy to buy. It's much easier to buy the black one, right? All right, now let's get into the Pro models. In this case, I'll open up the Pro Max, but it looks like, once again, yeah, they're the same color options, Pro and Pro Max, at least the ones we have here. Let's start with this, which I think is going to be white, yeah. And this white looks almost identical to the white on the non-Pro model. Very similar. Obviously, our camera setup changes on the Pros, but those two, whether they end up that way in production or if we get other options, who knows, but at least currently they're represented in this fashion. So this is what I noticed in the previous video. This thing has grown. So the new Pro Max is gonna be slightly taller. It's slight, it's not a really significant thing. I like how much bigger it truly is from a screen to body ratio perspective. You know, it's not extremely significant when you look at it like this, but it is a little bit bigger on the Pro Max than the previous generation. Does that make it the biggest iPhone ever? Yeah, probably, most likely. So anyway, that's white. There is black as well. Let's see if it looks the same as the other black. But obviously the materials should be different here. Oh, interesting. Yeah, this is quite different. And what I'm looking at is, it's a replica model, right? It's not gonna be using the most premium materials. The finished product is gonna look nicer than this, but that's kind of weird. Camera section mirror-like reflective, and then matte black for the remainder of the body. Do they know something that I don't know, that we don't know? If I pick up the black one, yeah, they are showing the frame slightly differently. So I would presume we're looking at, obviously, a material difference. Aluminum versus titanium. It has a slightly more grayish hue on the Pro replica, but that wouldn't be a surprise to anyone anyways, and that's the way they're representing it. Have they seen it? You know, what is this design based on? And what do you guys think? Is that a look that you're into? It's definitely different. Okay, next up. This is your natural, I presume. I kind of like this. I mean, I liked it on the previous gen. I like it here. The frame is represented less like raw titanium. Could be a scam, I don't know. They might not actually know exactly. Like, a lot of times there's guessing going on with these designs, and sometimes there's really valid information. They're implying the same color here, even though the frame is off. Okay, and then the last one for the Pro models is here. Whoa. Whoa. This one is cool. What is going on with that? But it's more like bronze. Desert titanium, this is sick. Cool. This looks military, man. This is cool. This is my favorite one for sure. I don't want to influence other people's choices in the comments because then we won't have any real data, but I have to tell you that this is my favorite by far. Oh, coffee later case would be sick on this. Different earthy kinds of tones happening. Now there's another rumor about this so-called capture button that possibly it will be touch sensitive and that you'll be able to swipe left or right in order to control zoom. Could be cool. Just a rumor right now. But this, I like this, and it's quite different with the glossy frame in this like bronze-like look with the sandy back. And then this is another standout, the green, whatever they end up calling it, for the standard and plus model iPhone 16. And then lastly, the Pro model in black, which all of a sudden now has this mirror finish on the camera section. Keep in mind, these are all replica models, so these things could change. Some may be closer than others, but I'm still curious to know what you guys think. If you had to pick from this variety of colors in the Pro model, in the Plus or Standard model, which would you go for? Which is the standout? Which do you prefer? Are you gonna be buying an iPhone 16, or are you not even looking for an upgrade right now? Let me know.